Hello and welcome. This video is to show you how to use and do some basic functions in our BatLink approval site at Warner Brothers Consumer Products. If you're viewing this video, you've probably already received your account information, but if you still do not have an account, by all means you can register yourself by clicking on this link right here from the URL batlink.warnerbros.com. But I will press forward and show you the three basic functions in BatLink: how to upload a brand new submission, how to see your pending submissions, and how to resubmit in BatLink. So when you are on this page, you will click on the licensee AE and TP users link. That will take you to a login screen. Again, hopefully you've received your username and password. Once you log in, you will get to a screen that looks pretty much like this. The first function I'm going to show you is how to create a new submission. To do so, you would simply click on this Create New Request button. That will bring you to this upload page. On this screen and the screens and the tabs that follow it, you'll see there are some fields that are mandatory, and those are denoted by being in bold and have a little red asterisk next to them, and some are not mandatory, as you can see by those that are unbolded. For those that are non-mandatory, if you feel the information would be useful for us, we would appreciate you filling it out, but it is not required to complete this form. So the first and foremost mandatory item we need is a contract number. I'm just using some test information here. Once you select that, it'll populate your licensee name as well as some territories and other contractual information. You will now also need to enter the actual product type that you are submitting against. Again, I'll just pick one for purposes of testing. Territories is not mandatory. However, sometimes it can be useful for your account executive or BA rep, so please do enter it if you feel they would need that information. We do also need a property, which would come straight from your contract. And then a new item we do ask for is characters. We do have a full list of characters, or at least we hope it's a full list, that will show based on the property you've selected. If you're not seeing the character that you have included on your submission, you can always select character not listed from the top. Or if you happen to have a submission that literally uses everything, you can also click select all. Once you've selected that, you click next to go to the next page. And on this tab, we just get some more specific information about your job. First and foremost, we'd like a title, just a basic description of what it is you're submitting. I'll just type something here. We also have this field called Details Notes that you do not have to enter anything into. However, this is a place where you can enter any notes or pieces of information you'd like your rep or your account executive to know. That can go right here. Also, not mandatory, but it's often useful to know what date you are targeting your submission to enter the market. And it could be packaging, could be product, or it could be even a marketing item or other perhaps POP and types of submissions. Submission type we do need to know. We would like to know whether it is a product, a packaging, or a marketing material or other type of submission. And each of those selections will drive information on the next tab. I'll show you what each one has. So for now, I'm going to pick product just to show you what that would look like. Down here is a number of other non-mandatory fields. One is internal ref ID. That's if you have any internal numbers that you use to track your items that you use in your company, feel free to enter those here. You do not have to. Same with the SKU. A lot of times the SKU number either isn't applicable to certain submissions or it's not known at the time you're uploading. So it's fine to leave this blank, but if you happen to know it, this can be useful information. Collection name is similar to the BA Link site. If this submission is part of a group of submissions that are similar in some way, for instance, if it's your spring line from 2016, you can enter that here, and that way it can make your submissions easier to group and search by. And then lastly, if there's any other submissions that you've already submitted that pertain to this job, it can be useful to know those job numbers. So that's what associated jobs is a job numbers that directly relate to this. For instance, if this is a product and you've submitted the packaging previously, it might be useful to know the packaging job number. And then lastly, we do allow you to let us know what stage you're uploading at. It defaults to initial concept. Obviously, that's the assumption. This is your first time submitting. It should be a concept. In certain circumstances, it may be necessary to skip the concept and go right to kind of an in development stage, which is sort of a broad term to describe anything that's past an initial concept, and really for any type of product packaging or marketing material. And in even rarer circumstances, we do allow you to go right to final production samples, but obviously that would only be in a rare situation where you've been asked to submit samples without actually starting with a concept. So most of the time you will probably be just submitting an initial concept, so select that and then click Next. And again, because we've picked product as the type of submission, you're getting a product information here where we do have just a few more mandatory pieces of information. First, we ask for age group. You can either select all or simply select the ones that apply. We do also need to know the gender, whether it be male, female, or both. Whether or not your item is going to be sold in a package is useful information. And whether or not it's going to be sold in a set. A few other non-mandatory pieces of information under that is it's useful for us to know at times whether or not you're including digital content. And what we mean by that is if your submission includes something like a Flash piece of animation or something that has actual content that is digital. Obviously, a JPEG is technically digital content, but that's not the kind of information we're asking for here. It's more if it's some sort of program or Flash or that kind of thing. Also, we have a field here to include any WBDA file names that you might have included on your submission. Whether or not this is a 3D submission can be very useful. And then for Harry Potter submissions only, it's useful for us to know whether or not your submission includes text and verbiage. Obviously, if your submission isn't Harry Potter, you can completely ignore that selection. Once you've entered the information here, you click Next, and you will get to the image area. However, before we cover that, I'm just going to go back real quick to the details and show you the difference between packaging and marketing. So if you select packaging as your option, again, this information that's requested is the same, but when you click Next, you get a different set of questions here. We do want to just know the type of packaging, basically whether it's a hang tag, a sewn-in label, or anything other than that. I'll select Other for this. Again, the Harry Potter text and verbiage question, and again, an area for your DA file name. Clicking Next will again take you to the place to upload your attachments. For marketing materials and other, it changes one more time. On this details, we do ask that you give us the delivery type if it is truly a marketing material. And if it's not really a marketing material, if it is something other, you can select Other. That's acceptable. We do appreciate if you can include, it's not mandatory, but if you can include target audience information if it is a marketing type piece, as well as when the program or whatever it is will be released and when it will be taken out of circulation or out of the market. And then lastly, we'd like to know if your submission itself is a website or if you're going to be delivering any assets via a website. If so, you would select Yes. And then if there is a URL, obviously there would be, please enter that URL here. And if there's a username or password that needs to be used to access it, you can enter those there. But again, we will select No for now. And on all three of these, again, once you select Next, it will take you to the File page. And just a couple features here. You can now upload any attachment type with the exception of zip files or exe files, which are program files. Any other file type will be uploadable. You also have an upload limit of 2 gigabytes. And you'll see down here it lets you know how much you have so that once you actually do want to upload something, we'll pick a Scooby file here. You select your file. You can also add as many as you'd like. Once you've selected your files, you click Upload, and it will show your image is attached. It'll also let you know the size, and it does sort of a count here to let you know how much space you have left. Also, you'll note there are 2 types of files you can attach. The only ones you must attach is a submission type, meaning it's just the actual image or file that relates to the specific thing you're asking for approval on and that you will be moving forward with. You can also upload supporting documents. But you do not need to. These would be files where they may not be the exact item you'd like approved, but they explain maybe where you got information or where you got some inspiration from, that kind of thing. You can put in supporting type, maybe even an email you've received about this submission. Anything that kind of supports the submission, you can enter into supporting type. Once you've attached at least one image, do make sure you have your pop-up blocker off, as it notes here, but you can simply click Submit, and at that point you will get a confirmation screen. And on this confirmation screen, you will note that it has the job number listed here. It also just gives you some basic information, a quick thumbnail of your image, and some other information that you entered. You can print this page if you need to for your records. And you can also, if you have another submission that you're going to upload that's very similar to this one, perhaps it's under the same contract, same property, it's got a lot of the same information, you can click copy, and it'll copy all the information you entered so you don't have to start from scratch on your next submission. But assuming this is done, you now can close this screen, as well as this screen. And the next thing I want to show you, because we've now finished uploading a new submission, the next thing I'd like to show you is how to check your pending submissions. You will see up here next to the Create New Request button is a Submission List button. Clicking this will bring up a whole list of all the jobs your company has uploaded. For this test licensee, I've only uploaded 2 submissions. You can see this submission, which is the one I just uploaded, and there is another older submission. This list is searchable. You can, in any of these fields, search for a particular job ID, which is the job number. You could search for a specific one or something under a specific job title. You can also sort your list based on these. So if I wanted to have the latest job first, you click this job ID once and then one more time, and it'll resort your list. It'll show your internal reference ID if you have entered those, your submission date of the initial time you submitted it, let you know what stage it's at, and who currently has it in the process. Now you'll see this first job is back to you as the licensee, which means it's ready to be resubmitted. This job we just finished, however, or just uploaded, you'll see right now it's blank for currently with. It does take about 5 minutes from the time you initially upload to get to your BA rep. So if you refresh this after about 5 minutes, you will see it'll say currently with BA rep, or whoever's the first person that has access to your submission. It will show it here. It will also show the stage. It just has to go through a short processing time before it will appear. And lastly, you'll see at the right of each of these rows, you have a View button. Clicking View will just simply re-show you the confirmation screen. And it will also show if you have received comments and maybe you didn't get your form with comments back via email, it will list your latest BA comments on this form. So you always have access to exactly what we said the last time this came through. So on this particular submission, it looks like we asked to resubmit with changes. This submission form, or this form rather, this confirmation screen, can be used to send with any physical submissions. Anything you're submitting to Warner Brothers physically, you can send with this form, and you do not need to do anything else in the system. We will then take it from there. But if you do need to resubmit digitally, let's say you've been asked to resubmit your concept, I will now take you through how to resubmit. The way to think of any job in BatLink is to think of it as a series of tasks that have to be accomplished throughout the life of a submission, from the moment you upload your initial concept all the way through until it's approved at final. Along the way, BA reps will have tasks as well as account executives, but once Warner Brothers has reviewed the submission, you will get a task to resubmit. And as mentioned, if you are submitting physically, you don't need to worry about your task in BatLink. We will take care of it for you. But if you are submitting digitally, you do need to look for a task that is available for you so you can resubmit. As of March 7th, 2016, you will find most tasks in your in-process area. That is where to look for jobs that have been returned to you and will need to be resubmitted digitally. If you're not able to find your job there, you can also look in assigned. It could be an older job, but the process should be the same. If you go to your in-process area, you will see you do have the ability to search for the job you're looking for. You can simply type in the job ID in the job ID field and click find. But otherwise, if you're seeing it, you'll see that to the left of every job is what we call a flyout menu. That's this little area right here, and when you hover over it, you'll see you do have a few options. You won't actually have print barcode, but you will have view details, edit details, and resubmit. For the most part, the reason you're here is to resubmit, so you just simply click the resubmit button. Clicking that will take you to a screen where the only thing you need to do is upload your file. I know there are a number of fields on here. Other than the file attachment field, you do not need to do anything with any of these fields. You are welcome to add some sort of description, but you do not have to. That is purely if you have a note for us that you'd like us to know, but otherwise you do not need to type anything in here if you don't want to. Additionally, you'll see that the submission pre-populated the title with today's date. Please do not change that. In fact, we would rather you not put anything in this particular title area. If you need to add any information, you can always put it in the description. But assuming you have no description to add, you only need to click this Choose File button to actually go find the file you'd like to upload, double click it, and then eventually hit Save. If you do have more than one file to add, obviously you can simply add the number of rows for however many attachments you have. But I've got just the one attachment. Once you have attached it, you simply click Save, and that job is now through to us. So hopefully you will find this is a much easier way to resubmit. You will also get a confirmation screen that lets you know it has happened and it happened successfully. It repeats the job number in case you need it, also some basic information. And then it will give you also the last BA comments and give you a thumbnail of what it is you've uploaded. And this is printable, this page. Once you're done, you can simply close that and either upload another submission or move on to something else. And that is it. If you have any questions on how to use this site or any other problems, by all means contact your BA representative and we will get you all the information you need. But thank you for watching this video.